Good evening, I'm Camden Cohn, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. Earlier today, the Big Ten Conference announced that 126 Husker athletes earned the Big Ten Distinguished Scholar Award. The honor highlights student athletes who recorded a minimum GPA of 3.7 or higher for the previous academic year. The honorees came from all 24 of Nebraska's athletic programs, including double-figure totals in women's track and field, men's track and field, soccer, and softball. For more information, visit Huskers.com. Husker volleyball players Andy Jackson and Bergen Riley had the first game with Team USA's U21 team earlier today in the Continental Championships. They swept the Dominican Republic by scores of 25-18, 25-21, and 25-11. Andy Jackson had 8 kills on 10 swings, as well as 4 blocks, while Bergen Riley led the U.S. to a .333 hitting percentage and added 1 ace and 5 digs. Sticking with Husker volleyball, after more than 10,000 names were submitted to name Coach John Cook's new horse, coaches narrowed it down to 4 names. Those names are Cash, Rev, Rip, and Ship. The final poll to select a name is open now for a week on the Husker volleyball social media accounts, and the winning name will be announced on the next episode of Kicking Back with the Cooks. Our sports ticker is sponsored by the 1890 Initiative. Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com. Hour 1 of Sports Nightly is up next, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Here come the Razorbacks, bumping over the left. Gillen, she's stopped. Rick Allen, block number 11 for the Team 16. They're body bumping in Lincoln.
Dillon turns, hands it off to Dowdell, left side, bounces to the outside, 40, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Dante Dowdell.
Shelley throws down low. Markowski kicks it out to Jazz, knocked away by Marshall. 7 to shoot, 6 to shoot. Shelley for 3. You betcha! Huskers take their first lead of the game with 30 seconds left.
Here's the 2-2 pitch.
Called strike 3. Breaking ball outside corner. Make it an even 10 for McConaughey, and the Hoosiers leave 2 more here in the top of the 7th.
Now the 3-2, and Bretwell swings and hammers it deep center field. She's gone! Home run, Eva Bretwell, and a 2-0 lead for the Cornhuskers.
Tominaga with 9, 8, 7, starts down the right side, goes to the right sideline, 4 seconds, step back, 30-footer. Got it! Unbelievable! I don't believe what I just saw. Tominaga knocks it home.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Again, with the added bonus of Jeremiah Sirles being with us here tonight, we have entered officially the summer abyss. Now that the College World Series is over, last night ended last year's school year for college sports. Baseball is the last thing to wrap it up. Congratulations to the Volunteers. My goodness, were they star-studded people down there. Morgan Wallen, country music star, was out there. Peyton Manning, Josh Heupel, their head football coach, Rick Barnes, their basketball coach, all in attendance last night. Congratulations to the Volunteers. And the Aggies had such an amazing year. Now it looks like now they're going to be looking for a coach. Jim Schlossnagle sounds like he's taking the Texas job. But that does it. And so now, gang, we hit this point where, yeah, you got Wimbledon, you got some golf tournaments, but it's kind of dry. Thank goodness we have the Olympics until we get those football camps opened up.
Yeah, this is where you guys make your money. This is where the sports commentators earn their money, the sports shows between June, July, and August, right? It's all just projection and rumors and what about this, maybe that, ooh, I don't know. But yeah, this is definitely the doldrums of the sports world.
Previewing the upcoming opponents, the schedule, the volleyball, breaking the preseason. Yeah, it's what can we talk about today?
Earn it.
Yeah, and this is where a lot of crazy stuff. What in the past, and I don't think we'll have that this year, but this is where realignment has really kicked into gear, right? I mean, this is kind of the time of year that the OU Texas thing popped up a couple of years ago, and then it was later on. It was in August before the 4 Pac-12 schools broke off and joined the Big Ten. But the last couple of summers, we've had realignment talk. I don't sense that happening. Maybe I'll be wrong, but I don't sense that happen. How excited are you two with the addition of the 4 teams coming into the Big Ten here in about 10 days?
Oh, I'm juiced.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I think it's going to be fascinating to see if these schools can come in and make an immediate impact. I think about when we joined the Big Ten, right, and Nebraska came in, and I can still remember the thing was like the Big Ten's new bully. Like, I remember the magazine that came out, and I was like, I really wish they didn't do that. Like, it painted a target on our backs. But, our offense, they had never seen an offense like we had in 2011, right? Taylor Martinez, Rex Burkhead, spread, run and gun, go, and we just scored at will. The issue was our defense. Our defense was built to, rush the passer 65 times, and all of a sudden Wisconsin's like, 245-pound defensive lineman? Yeah, we'll just run power at you over and over and over again. But I think that's going to be a little bit of the USC, UCLA, Washington, Oregon, is it's such a different style and brand of football. I'll be curious if they're the ones that have to play catch up to us, or if they're going to play a different style that's going to put the Big Ten on their toes a little bit.
I will say this, though, being that Matt Rhule came from Baylor, and that's what Oklahoma did when Lincoln Riley and Matt Rhule had some battles, and it was kind of that right there. Is it the defense versus the offense? And Coach Riley had some Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks. He had Jalen Hurts. So, I think Coach Rhule will know what to expect in terms of facing an offensive coordinator and Lincoln Riley and some of those offenses. But, yeah, the rest of the Big Ten, how are they going to stack up? I'm excited. And, going out to California and just – look, it's where we're headed, right? And we can talk about how much we don't like it, but it is what it is, and it's moving forward and probably moving towards those super leagues. So I'm excited to see how it goes, how it continues to unfold, but definitely how those teams match up in the Big Ten.
I've been to all 4 stadiums, and they're all fabulous in their own ways. Washington is beautiful right off that bay. Oregon, we were there a couple years ago. The Coliseum is got a lot of tradition. The Rose Bowl is cool because it's a Rose Bowl. They don't draw real well there. But, Jess, what would be an interesting thing is which sports will be affected the most by these 4. And in some ways, you could pick multiple ones. I think volleyball gets better. I think women's basketball definitely gets better with the addition of these 4. The ball bat sports, I think, are helped. You could have a real debate about which sport maybe benefits the most by adding these 4 schools.
Yeah, I mean, softball definitely. When you add UCLA, and I know that USC doesn't play softball,
They don't have it.
I think you hit it, nail on the head, that there's a lot of intriguing sports coming in and how that will increase the Big Ten, which is why this conference went after the schools that they went after. I probably would have to lean towards women's basketball, just with the Juju, which you've been a fan of, Greg, and her, she's just electric. She's that next generation of superstars in women's basketball, and how women's basketball really took off over the last year. She's going to be fun to bring to this conference. You're adding just some really good programs there that I think women's basketball needs and softball needs for sure to continue to help raise their brand and, make a push towards getting teams in the postseason and maybe better seating, hosting, all of that. I think it's going to help certainly softball and the RPI, but I think those 2 women's sports definitely are going to see big benefits from bringing those 2 sports in from the Pac-12.
I'm curious. Sorry, Greg.
Go ahead.
I'm curious how it's going to affect some of the travel for these teams.
Yeah. That's where I was going.
Yeah, I mean, so my wife, right, she played soccer. They play on Friday nights, and then they play on Sundays. They're going to have to leave on Wednesday potentially because they don't fly private. They fly commercial still. And it's how are they going to bounce? I mean, they're going to miss so much more school than they will. I mean, we're talking about Nebraska, the local. I think about, from a conference whole, Oregon's going to have to go out and play Penn State and Maryland on a road trip. That's going to be fascinating for those teams that have to travel the most. Everyone talks about football and basketball, but football's easy. You fly in on a Friday, you fly out right after the game. It's those extended sports that play over multiple times over a weekend that's going to be really interesting how that works.
We do not have the soccer schedule, right?
It's out.
Okay.
No, it's out.
What does that look like? I'll pull it up.
Yeah, pull it up. I don't have it. Jeremiah, do we make, particularly for the sports that charter, so football, volleyball, men's, women's basketball charter, do we make too big a deal about the length of the flights, or is it a bigger deal that these California schools are going to have to go to Rutgers and Maryland's going to have to go to Oregon? How big a factor is that on an athlete's body?
It's a big factor, even to the point where when I played in San Diego, and if we crossed over Mountain Time Zone, we left 2 days early. right? Because they wanted us to get off the plane, get acclimated, be able to stretch out, get a movement around. I mean, sitting on a plane that long for anyone is not good for your body, right? You're cramped, you're in there, it's a high stress situation, you're going to a game. Like, you can make it however you want, but I mean, it's hard to just flip around, and then it's even harder for the flight back, as weird as that is to think about, because you're delaying your recovery, right? When you have a long flight home after a game, like, you're not getting home till, if you play in Illinois a night game, you're not getting home till 3 in the morning. Now imagine you play a night game at USC where you're 2 hours behind, and then you're not going to get home till like 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. the next morning. I remember doing that when we played UCLA in, what was that, Greg, 2011, 2010?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We didn't get back. The sun was up when we got back,
Yep.
and now you're losing that whole day of recovery, right? Because you're not sleeping well. It's a big deal.
Maybe you spend another night. Right? Maybe you fly back the next day. Now, that doesn't help recovery, and that cuts into your prep time then for the next week. But I think that's something some schools are going to have to consider.
Yeah, I think that if you're going to be going true coast to coast, like, it would be better to, hey, let's get a hotel room, everyone go to bed, we're leaving at 6 a.m., right? Buses leave at 6 a.m., get some sleep, get some recovery, regroup, get hydrated, and then we'll just fly back the next day. I think that's going to be a big factor for the coast-to-coast trips.
Okay, here's the soccer schedule. Big Ten Conference at Iowa, at Michigan State, at Michigan, Illinois home, Penn State home, at Wisconsin, at Rutgers, at Maryland, Oregon home, Washington home, Indiana home. So
they don't make a trip.
They don't
west.
make the West Coast. They do play Oregon State and Portland, but that's part of their non-conference that I'm sure has been scheduled for a while. But they do not go out to those schools this year.
All right.
This year.
While you're on that site, pull up the volleyball schedule, because I know volleyball does go west, and I think they're going to try to marry up Washington with Oregon and USC and UCLA, USC. That you can stay in the same hotel. You just bus across town. That's not a problem. A little bit further to get from Seattle to Eugene, although it's not bad. That's not a bad trip. But I think volleyball does, Jess, make a West Coast swing.
Which USC and UCLA is who the Huskers open up with in Big Ten play at home. So the 27th and 29th is UCLA, USC at home. Then let's see, they go to Oregon, at Washington, Thursday, November 7th, and Saturday, November 9th.
So there's a day between.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So they'll probably charter after the Thursday match, get to the new city, and then camp down. That's not bad. That's not bad to be able to do that. So.
And this volleyball programs, they're used to doing that. They fly out to Stanford, every other year. They take on a pretty tough non-conference and will play teams across the country. So it's not like they're not used to flying to take on opponents, in the non-conference.
We're lucky. We're right in the middle of the United States.
Like, it doesn't make much difference to fly East Coast, West Coast,
correct.
right?
Like, for us, it's like, do we want to go 2 or 4 hour flight to Rutgers, or do we want to go a 4 hour flight to USC? Like, the schools that are going to suffer with this are going to be the coastal schools, right?
Agreed.
The schools, the Penn States, the Rutgers that got to go to Oregon and USC, UC, like those are the ones that are going to be really tough. We're lucky. We're central, right? It's part of the reason I love living here. We can get anywhere, right? Those are the ones that's going to wear on those kids.
It's advantage Huskers. And like Gophers, too. I think anybody in the Midwest, the Hawkeyes, I think we all kind of share that thing. Jeremiah, you play with the Vikings. That was an advantage, right? Because you were split down the country. So if you're going to Seattle or you're going to Tampa, it's kind of the same distance. That is a bit of an advantage in the NFL when you're kind of centrally located.
Yeah, especially with an 11 a.m. start time, right? You think about it. If you're going to go from a coastal school to a West Coast to an East Coast, and it's an 11 a.m. kick over there, I mean, you're talking like your body clock is super early, or vice versa.
Even if you get there a day before, you're not.
Vice versa. If you're going from Penn State to USC and it's a 7:30 kickoff, like that's like 11 o'clock body time.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's a 10:30. You're just like I had that. That's a huge advantage of the Midwest, is that central time zone kind of makes it so you can acclimate fairly quickly anywhere you go. But I mean, you start adding hours, 3 hours sometimes, that's a huge advantage come Huskers time with not having to change the body clock too much.
Well, Matt Rhule's going to sound off on that. We got a clip coming up in the next segment that we'll get into here. We're going to talk football with Jeremiah for the hour. If you'd want to be a part of the program, our text line is always open. A couple of texts from last night that I didn't get to. I got so distracted by pushing the elevator button to Shram Hall from Jeremiah last night. But 402-413-2400. Also, Ramir Johnson. Jessica had a chance to catch up with him recently. See how he's doing. This is a guy that's battled injury problems. When he's played really well for the Huskers. And that injury that he got last year really kind of got Nebraska off kilter at that running back spot. We're going to hear from Rahmir coming up in the second hour of the program. It is a Sports Nightly Tuesday night bonus tonight because the big dog in the house with us here tonight. Well, if you are interested in working at Memorial Stadium on Husker game days, join us on our in-person hiring event. It's called a Staff Draft, July 10th and 11th, hiring ticket takers, ushers, parking staff, much more. Come to Memorial Stadium and join the Husker event staff. For more information and to get pre-registered, please visit huskers.com/event staff. A lot more of the program coming up.
If there's one thing we like, it's choices. Find yours with Ford F-150. Gas, hybrid, or all electric. Whether it's towing, powering up, or getting from 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, what you choose to do with that much power is up to you. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Get 1.9% financing for 72 months plus $1,000 bonus cash on a brand new 2023 F-150 only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Woodhouse Nissan is an easy choice when shopping for your next vehicle. Right now, lease the 2024 Nissan Ultimate SR for just $255 per month, serving the Metro for over 20 years. This is Woodhouse Nissan. 36 months, 5,000 miles per year with approved credit, tax, title, and license extra. $2,995 down or trade equity, plus first payment and $299 doc fee due at signing. Discounted price based on a sale price of $31,100. VIN number RN353132. Offer expires 7/1/24. See dealer for details.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. Throughout my football career, chiropractic care helped my athletic performance on the field and kept me in the game. Today, regular chiropractic care keeps me healthy and active to do the things I love. Chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages. Make chiropractic your first choice to reduce pain, improve your mobility, and feel better naturally. It works for me, and it can work for you too. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
Get ready to rule the field and revolutionize your farming game with Valley, the game changer in irrigation and ag tech solutions. With time and labor-saving measures, ground-truthing results, and effective input reduction, Valley provides the perfect game plan so you stay ahead of what's in the field. From the best in irrigation and cutting-edge ag tech solutions to personalized support, Valley is your winning team. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Farming today is a combination of hard work, innovation, and partnerships to help keep us moving forward. Sapp Brothers Petroleum has provided us with fuel, propane, and lubricants on the farm for many years.
For over 52 years, Sapp Brothers has been a reliable partner to thousands of farmers across our great state. We work hard to make sure our customers have the most reliable supply, provided in the safest manner and at the most competitive price. Trust Sapp Brothers Petroleum to protect your equipment and keep your farm fueled. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics and to serve Nebraska farmers and Husker fans across America's heartland.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here. I feel better already.
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Hey Huskers, it's a new day in Nebraska. Manzer Equipment, Mertz Farm Equipment, and West Point Implement of Columbus have teamed up as True Ag and Turf. Coach Rhule is bringing innovation and high-performance standards to Husker football, and True Ag is doing the same to your farm with game-changing Fendt equipment. As Big Red establishes power on the field, True Ag and Turf does the same in the field by welcoming Fendt to Nebraska.
If there's one thing we like, it's choices. Find yours with Ford F-150. Gas, hybrid, or all electric. Whether it's towing, powering up, or getting from 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, what you choose to do with that much power is up to you. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Get 1.9% financing for 72 months plus $1,000 bonus cash on a brand new 2023 F-150 only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center. It is sponsored, you all know it, by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. Full house tonight. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody, Jeremiah Sirles, fresh off swallowing a bug during the break.
Thank goodness. It was driving me bonkers. It was flying around, so Sirles got rid of it.
Middle of a conversation and just straight inhale.
Me.
Just get some protein. Yeah, just need a little extra protein to the diet today.
By the way, Greg, you know, we did this thing when Sirles was in last where we would do the Akrs read and we would let him say Akrs every time. So,
all right, I'll work that in.
Big fan.
We'll do that the next. We got one more this hour. We'll pop that in there. So. We love the people at Akrs, right? They even have their own brand of beer.
Yes, they're awesome. Yes.
I need Akrs beer.
They brought some up here to the studio.
Where can you buy it?
You can buy it
at the Still.
Yeah, you can actually.
I'm stopping at the
think
Still
so.
on the way home.
Yep.
Yeah. They're
good
awesome.
Folks. They're great people.
I got a good ball cap from them that I wear sometimes.
They gave me a bunch of gear. They're a big fan of Kevin and company over there at Akrs.
Yeah, good folks. All right, we're talking Husker football this hour with Jeremiah. Matt Rhule's press conference last Thursday, we're going to pick up one more bite that he talked about there. He got asked about what did he learn now going through a full year of the Big Ten in football, and it starts talking about the weather issues, and then he kind of morphs into what we were talking about in the opening segment about the addition of the 4 schools and an advantage Nebraska has as far as travel. So here's Matt Rhule from last Thursday.
In terms of the Big Ten, I think the biggest thing that I learned last year was just the and I'd heard about it, but till you feel it was just especially with our stadium, was just the weather. I talk a lot about that. When I coached at Baylor, it might be, I knew I was going to play about 4 or 5 games a year, was going to be between 150 and 180 on the turf. So I was going to go no huddle, and I was going to try to build 3 strings of defense. So if you went no huddle against me, I could rotate guys because of the heat. Here, late in the year, it's going to be cold and it's going to be really windy, and there's going to be 2 quarters a game where you're throwing the ball into a 30 to 50 mile an hour wind, and I better master those things. Like little things, like I have so much respect for Kirk Ferentz. Like we have always we've always deferred and kicked the ball off so we can get the ball in the second half because we believe in like going into the half with the ball and coming out of the half with the ball. And if you're really good, you score going into the half, you take the ball coming out of the half, you score again, and a 10-10 game becomes 24-10. Well, I watch Coach Ferentz, and he's playing in the similar weather conditions, and how often he takes the ball, or on a windy day will take the ball so he can choose the wind and take the wind in the 4th quarter. And so me saying to myself, okay, so we lost. He took the wind against us. He took the ball against us so he could have the wind in the 4th quarter, and then they kick a field goal to beat us, and the ball hits the upright and kind of falls through. And I'm like, all right. But I'm humble enough to learn. You know what I mean? I'm not sitting here saying I have all the answers. I'm humble enough to say this to you guys, knowing that it's probably going to be trending that Coach Rhule says Coach Ferentz is smarter than him. Well, yeah, he is, so I don't care. But so I just think the Big Ten weather, you know, people are like, why does the SEC score so many points? Big 12, yeah, go play at Ohio State. Go play at, go play at Minnesota. Go play here when the wind is howling. I think that's the biggest thing. I think travel is going to be something that, I mean, people are, I think people think they understand, but they don't understand. Like I keep track of like how many days we have rest before a game. And other people, we are way down on that this year. Like we have way less rest before a game than our opponents do. I'm not complaining about that. But then I have to on those weeks where someone's coming in they had a bye week the week before us, or they had 10 days and we have 6 days. I've got to do a really good job of monitoring A, the travel, and B, how much time we have. We're so lucky to be in the central part of the country. So it's 3 hours to the East Coast, 3 hours to the West Coast. how are the West Coast and East Coast teams going to handle flying across the country? What if you're on the East Coast and you're playing an 11 o'clock Eastern game at USC, and then you got to fly back, get back at what, 5 in the morning? No, noon. Get back at noon and then try to get your bodies ready to play the next week. It's going to change your practice. So there's a lot of things here these are the things that keep me up at night, right? Like these are the things I'm like, man, we got to figure this out. We got to figure that out. And you find out what time your game is, 12, sometimes 10 days, 12 days before the game. So the research says, like, if you're playing on the West Coast, I'm sorry if I'm boring you with this, but if you stay on the West Coast, you should stay at a hotel the night after the game so that you can get a good night's sleep and then fly back the next day. But what if you only get 12 days? Hey, Susan, call the hotel, tell them we need 120 rooms. But now all of a sudden, 12 days out night. So there's so many things, unintended consequences.
You swear you didn't hear him say that before.
No,
you just made your point.
But it's so, I mean, hearing him say that gives me so much confidence of like the planning of Matt Rhule.
Yeah.
Right. He's thinking like an NFL coach. Right. That's the type of stuff that NFL coaches think of all the time. NFL front offices and planning people, like they have to be prepared for that kind of stuff because it does matter. I mean, you start something like, okay, weeks 1, 2, 3, everyone's fresh going. But when you start getting weeks 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, one day of rest can make the difference between a player being ready to play or not being able to play based off that injury, right? And that type of stuff can add up as chronic injuries over time, as our bodies wear out over time. Like one more night of good sleep during the week can make all the difference in the world.
How much different does it feel when you are that team like he was talking about that only has 6 days or 5 days playing up against a team that's coming off a bye or the 10 days to prepare?
You know, as a player, never really thought about it.
Really?
Right? You never really were like, oh my gosh, these guys have got 8 days and I only had 6, right? Because at the end of the day, no one cares. Like, you got to go play. Coaches think about it more because it's their job to structure the week and how they want to give us our recovery. You know, but as a player, you just kind of head down and go. I can remember a stint in 2016 where with the Vikings, we played 3 games in 11 days, right? We went Sunday, Thursday, Thursday, and my body had never felt worse in my entire life, but no one cared, right? No one's going to give you they only had 6 days rest and pat you on the back once you lost the game. It's like, well, you lost. Right, so all that stuff as a player you don't really think about, but you definitely feel it in your body.
Does it feel like they are fresher than you on the field?
No. I think that there's definitely some like, wow, that's a new wrinkle we didn't see on tape. Right, you always have to be ready for that when you're playing a team that's had extra preparation time.
Right.
Be like, okay, well, what blitz are they going to school up that we haven't seen, or what trick play, or what have they noticed on our tape that we've been so busy prepping to get ready for this that they've actually really dissected and say, we're going to attack that. And so it becomes very important that you can adjust in real time during the game for wrinkles that you don't expect to come.
You know, we've broken down, and people have broken down our schedule, and I think we all really like the schedule this year, but then you go get into the minutia of what he talked about, and he's right. There's a lot of teams are going to have a bye week before they play us, which is going to give them a nice little added advantage. So there's something that he pulled up there. Let's go back to his comments about the weather a little bit. And Jeremiah, before the show, you and I were talking about in the NFL, if you're in the AFC North and you're Pittsburgh and Cleveland and Cincinnati, I mean, you're going to play in some rotten weather week after week in that division. That's kind of the Big Ten as well. And I think I found that really refreshing that he admitted, hey, I hadn't thought about the wind thing that Kirk Ferentz pulled on us, and it might have made the difference in the game.
Yeah, I mean, you have to play the elements in the Big Ten. It's just part of playing the Big Ten. It's part of players coming here from cold weather climates and understanding how to play. It's part of Dylan Raiola understanding, I have to throw with a 40-mile-an-hour wind in my face. How do I not hang a ball up there so it dies in the wind and gets undercut, or I make sure I don't overthrow someone when I have the wind? And that just only comes with reps and experience. You can't mimic that kind of stuff. It's why I kind of liked that there were some really cold days in spring ball and wind was going, and you could tell it was like, oh, this is a learning curve for those guys. But, you know, again, Matt Rhule's just so good about the humble confidence that he has of, I'm not afraid to learn. I'm okay with learning from other people and realizing I made a mistake in that moment, not knowing I did. But the great competitors know how to not make repeat errors. And that's what I heard from him there is, I'm not going to repeat this error. I'm going to have a game plan going through it. And it's no fault of his own. I mean, he was learning as much as anyone last year. But hearing that he's self-evaluating is so refreshing because so many coaches are die on the hill of I'm right and I'm always going to do it this way. But, I mean, Matt Rhule has that humble confidence to him that I just love to hear.
Well, and the wind part of it and the weather part of it, there's a reason why every single week it seemed like when I talk about your keys, you always seem to bring up special teams, because in this conference, in this weather, it's critical.
Yeah, I mean, special teams and the run game, right? If it's blowing as bad as it is, you have to be able to run the football. It's why Iowa's had so much success, why Wisconsin back in their day, and why Michigan won the national title. They can grind it out on the ground because it doesn't matter what the weather is. It can be 100 degrees, it can be 0 degrees. You can always run the football. You can always put your hand in the dirt and beat the dude up in front of you regardless of the weather. The passing game adds more elements into it when the weather's bad. So the run game and special teams are core pillars of winning games in November in the Big Ten.
All three of us have experienced Big 12 football. And I remember being in the Big 12 and looking at the Big 10 and go, oh, how boring that is. But once you get into the Big 10, you realize why it's that way, and the weather dictates a lot of that. And that's why, and he pointed that out in his comment, he said, that's why the SEC and the Big 12 score a lot more points. They're playing in better weather every week than we are up here. So you've got to adapt to that. In the old Big 12 days, the worst places you would go to would be Lincoln and Ames, right? I mean, those would be the two cold ones.
Yeah, I mean, Lincoln and Ames were the cold ones. But I mean, I'm thinking about, hey, USC, have fun in Ann Arbor in late November, right? Enjoy that. But I will say this. When I played in Buffalo in 2018, we had to go to Miami in December for a game, right? And Buffalo's freezing in December. And I started that game in Miami, and I thought I was going to melt in pregame warm-up, right? Your blood's thick, like you're used to wearing coats, and it was 91 degrees. I mean, that's going to be an interesting thing, too. That's a home field advantage for those West Coast schools of if they have a cold weather climate school coming out to them in November, like it can be the equal effect of, hey, we got a platoon guys, be ready to go, because that can drain you just as fast as the cold.
Greg, one of the first things I noticed coming from the Big 12 to the Big 10 is, dang, these games go by a lot faster because they're running the football and they're not airing it out every single play and scoring 65 points every game.
Yeah, if you can break 30 points, that's a win.
Yeah, and that's why more teams huddle. More teams try to drain the clock, try to get the ground game going, because it's hard to throw passes. And it goes back to that. And that'll be an adjustment for these young quarterbacks for Nebraska, whether it's Danny or Dylan, if they end up getting it. Heinrich had to learn some of that last year. That's an adjustment to know how to throw the ball right into the wind or with the wind at your back. And so, I mean, that, as Jeremiah said, that comes with experience. And we're going to have some – folks, we're going to have some growing pains with those quarterbacks because they are so young and inexperienced.
Yeah, I mean, it's just you can't replicate that stuff. It's impossible to replicate that stuff. It just comes with real-life bullets. And unfortunately, with young quarterbacks, you live and die by the fire, right? It's sometimes they're going to light it up. Other times you're going to be like, whoa, okay, youngin', we'll have to learn and go from here. But that's where you want to be able to rely on the veterans, especially up front, and be like, hey, Dylan – or whoever it is back there, I'm going to say Dylan for this case, Dylan needs some help, boys. We can't ask him to throw this ball 40 times this game. It's just not feasible. We need to help them and put the load on your shoulders and allow him to develop and not regress because he's down on himself or he's not confident where he's putting the football, so he's holding it. Now we got sacks. Like, so much of that's going to come on the offensive line. And also on the defense, making sure we don't fall behind 14 points or 10 points and have to start airing it out in order to get ourselves back in the game. When you have a young quarterback, it takes the other 41 guys to really help lift that young guy up because it takes all of them to support that guy.
Yeah. Good stuff right there. 402-413-2400, the number if you want to fire off a text for us here as we continue to talk a little Husker football. Husker fans, go check out the all-new Hy-Vee Perks program. Sign up for the totally free Hy-Vee Perks program and enjoy exclusive perks, pricing on hundreds of items in-store and online. Score big savings today at Hy-Vee.com/perks. Hy-Vee, they are the official grocer partner of Husker Athletics and your one-stop shop for making your life easier, healthier, happier. Visit your local Hy-Vee today. More of the show coming up.
If spring allergies keep you trapped inside, then you need Navage Nasal Care to keep you breathing clearly and enjoying all the beauties of spring. Navage helps clear nasal passages that are often clogged because of seasonal allergies. Navage gently flushes a pure, refreshing saline solution through your nasal passages to clear out congestion, sucking out that springtime pollen and other irritants trapped in your nose. Navage is available online at Navage.com or in stores at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, and Target. Navage, Navage.
Husker fans, springtime in Sharpe County means sports and outdoor activities. Catch an Omaha Storm Chasers baseball game or a Union Omaha Pro soccer match at Werner Park. Visit Fontenelle Forest, where you can enjoy tree rush adventures or hike and bike on one of the many trails. Play a round of golf or experience great fishing. Relax, refresh, and rediscover yourself with a springtime trip. Plan your adventure at GoSarpy.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails, dress up for a night out on the town, or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved-up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the trail-taming 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here. I feel better already.
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Hey Huskers, it's a new day in Nebraska. Manzer Equipment, Mertz Farm Equipment, and West Point Implement of Columbus have teamed up as True Ag and Turf. Coach Rhule is bringing innovation and high-performance standards to Husker football, and True Ag is doing the same to your farm with game-changing Fendt equipment. As Big Red establishes power on the field, True Ag and Turf does the same in the field by welcoming Fendt to Nebraska.
Did I forget something?
No, just wanted to tell you I love you. Oh, don't forget to buckle up. Drive safe.
I will. Love you too.
Someone is counting on you to buckle up. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
If there's one thing we like, it's choices. Find yours with Ford F-150. Gas, hybrid, or all-electric. Whether it's towing, powering up, or getting from 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, what you choose to do with that much power is up to you. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Get 1.9% financing for 72 months plus $1,000 bonus cash on a brand new 2023 F-150 only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Woodhouse Auto Family, they are your trusted auto partner with 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. Bonus night, three of us, Greg, Jessica, Jeremiah, with us. We're talking all things Husker football here tonight on the program. Somebody texted in, love the show, great show. Okay, so we fooled somebody. That's good to be able to know that. And no, we're not. We're kind of keeping the phone line shut off tonight. Somebody also wanted to know that, so it's just our little chit-chat, kind of our fireside chat. I can say that, even though it's 110 degrees outside, but
it's like
fireside,
sitting around a
fireside
fire.
chat.
Yeah, having some ice cream.
I do like ice cream this time of year.
Oh,
who doesn't, right?
My wife actually just bought one of those Ninja Creamies.
Oh,
right.
yeah,
So we're making like
those.
healthy,
Those are
Like
awesome.
protein ice cream?
protein ice cream, and then like we'll make the kids like good ice cream, and I'm like, I don't want the healthy ice cream. I want the one full of fat and sugar. Like that one just tastes so much better.
Jess, you're an ice cream fan, right? Who isn't?
I do like ice cream, but I probably would prefer a sno cone over ice cream right now.
Snow cone.
No, that's a good call. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can give you that.
Like a good old fashioned.
Are you a 402 person, Greg? What's your ice cream shop of choice?
That's pretty darn solid. They'd be in the top three, no doubt. Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, 402. I'm a Dairy Queen. I'm a Dairy Queen person, like the classic Blizzard.
Yeah.
Hard to beat a classic Blizzard this
like
time
blizzards.
of year.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, listen, I'm a fat kid. I love all sweets. It's hard for me to be like, oh, no, I won't eat that. Like, unless it has coconut on it, I'm going to eat it.
Dennis on our text line said, guys, you had a choice between an NFL-type lineman, just like in another Big Ten school, or a good running game. Well, they're hand in hand, aren't they, Jeremiah? I mean, you're not going to run the ball unless you're blocking it well up front.
Yeah, you can't run the ball well unless you have NFL offensive linemen. I mean, look at Michigan, right? They had 6. I think they had 6 offensive linemen go to the combine, right?
That's why they've won this league. They've been the best team up front.
Yeah, and I mean, Trevor Keegan got drafted. Zach Zinter got drafted. Their other tackle got drafted. And then all of them ended up with free agent deals. So they're all in the NFL, right? And for so long, Nebraska had at least 1 or 2 guys drafted from the offensive lines every single year, right? I mean, and even guys that weren't drafted banged around in the league for a long time. Nick Gates was an undrafted guy who's played in the league for a long time. Alex Lewis was a 4th-round pick, right? Spencer Long was a 3rd-round pick. Me and Brent were both undrafted free agents. Like, you have guys that are NFL quality players, and when you get multiple of them on a team, that team tends to have more success. It's not rocket science. I mean, it's a very thing, and that's where Nebraska needs to get back to, is where we're funneling that pipeline into the NFL of offensive linemen.
For sake of argument, to try to maybe decipher, maybe what he's saying too is NFL linemen that are really good pass protectors. So there are certain linemen that are better, right, at pass protection than than blocking and opening up the run game. So maybe that's what he's saying is, would you rather have 2 guys that are really elite tackles that can really pass protect, other than maybe open up the run game?
That's a fair point.
Maybe that's what he meant by that.
Yeah, I think in college I would rather have the run game guys, because pass protection is such a unique skill set in the NFL. You can be an elite pass protector in college, does not matter. When you get to the NFL, you got to change everything, because those dudes are just a different breed when it comes to pass rushing. I think in college you want to have that brute strength, that beat 'em up mentality of the guy in front of you, and then teach the technician side of pass protection later on.
But to your point, though, you can have an elite running back if the guys can't block for him. It doesn't matter.
Same thing. You have an elite quarterback. If you can't get the ball to anyone, what's it matter?
You know, this is the time of year everybody's picking up the magazines and looking and saying, oh, this team's going to be good. They got 9 starters back on offense. And that can be a good thing or a bad thing, having starters back, because maybe they're not good enough to be elite level. Nebraska's going to have, Jeremiah, a lot of experience back on that offensive line. And I think that's a good thing in a way. Is it talented enough? I don't know that we have all the answers to that, but evaluate for us that group up front and all the playing time that the Corcorans and the Benharts and the Scotts and the, I'm losing his name, the young man who transferred from Florida. These guys have played a lot of football.
Mazuka.
Yeah, Mazuka. Yeah, I mean, I think when you look at the starters, right, let's start there. A lot of experience on right tackle, a lot of experience, not just, Nebraska, but, played a lot of games. Ben Scott at Arizona State before he got here, too. You know, Teddy's had a flavor of experience at the left tackle spot. Turner's played a ton of football, but I love the Micah signing. I mean, he brings an attitude that's different than anyone else in that room, I think. And, I talked about this maybe on our podcast about, if you have a dude that's willing to square up with someone and box on the 10-yard line like Micah was willing to do, he's going to bring that nasty attitude, and that's really good. Where I worry about this group the most, Greg, is the depth, right? We haven't had a year since even when Scott Frost was here, where the starting 5 you rolled out week 1 were the starting 5 that played every game, right? It's just not a feasible thing. Evans Jenkins had to come in at some points. We had Piper would come out, Nuri would come in, Lutovsky was in. It's hard to build congruency with that group. And so I worry slightly about the depth and the drop-off from the starter to the backup of how that big a range. But again, that just comes with getting some of these young guys reps. We got some really good young recruits that have come in, but to jump in and play as a freshman at the offensive line position is just not something you're looking for.
This is probably the thing we talk the most about on the podcast is just it's a process. It's not an overnight fix. It just takes time to be able to have that kind of depth, which I think they're on the right trajectory. You think so too, with some of the young talent they brought in. It's just they're not going to be ready to play at this level right away.
And it's not a position that you can just hit the portal and grab guys, because if you're good enough to play, you're playing. Right, if you're the guy, very rarely do you have a guy. Micah obviously started a lot of games for Florida, before he left. But usually the tackle position specifically, if you've got a tackle in your building that can play, you ain't letting them out because they're just really hard to find versus the portal's littered with receivers and DBs and all those skill positions. I mean, but offensive linemen, if you've got a good one, you don't let them go.
I do think it'll be a competitive August, and maybe not for the first 5, but maybe to try to be guys 6, 7, 8, 9. Can you see that? And can any of these freshmen get into that 9?
Maybe the redshirt freshmen.
Maybe the redshirt freshmen. Maybe the guys that have been here a year, right? I think. I think those guys. I mean, they've been in the weight program now. They've been in the offense for 2 years now. But it's the tackle position specifically that I'm looking at the depth. I think I feel pretty good about the interior guys. Even Henry Lutovsky. You've got Micah. You've got Evan Jenkins. You've got a few other players in that middle there. But you start talking about like, hey, if Benhart or Teddy gets hurt. I mean, Jacob Hood's a guy that they really need to come a long way.
Gunnar Katula,
Gunner's another
Sam
guy.
Sledge.
Like those dudes they're going to be called upon at one point in this year. But I think that they're going to be competing for that swing tackle spot. Like that, hey, if someone goes down, can you get us through a game or potentially be a spot starter? The other issues we just don't know until we see them out there because it's not like in NFL. We don't have a preseason. We don't have any of that. It's kind of trial by fire if those young players got to get out there.
I know they love this freshman group, and I think this might be the star of this. In 3 years, we may look back and go, that was the gems of the class. Obviously, Dylan's going to be in the mix there, but Bricks is certainly highly thought of. Pyle, I think the Davidson kid from Colorado's got a chance to be really good. But, as you said, it's just too big of a learning curve maybe to get him ready by this fall.
Yeah, it's not even as much the learning curve as just the physicalness. I mean, especially in the Big Ten. I mean, you're talking about defensive linemen that are 22 years old, 6'4", 280 pounds, and have been in a weight program for 5 years, going against a guy that was beaten up on 14-year-olds a year ago. Right? That's just a huge advancement of just the physicalness. I mean, if you can figure out the offense, good on you, right? But you still have to physically be able to go out there and not just survive, but be a contributor.
Very good. Need to step aside, get our final break of the hour, and we're back with some more football chatter next.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here. I feel better already.
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Protect your vehicle's engine with Syntec and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec Full Synthetic Motor Oil is formulated for today's engines to protect against wear and deposits. Get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select filter for just $33.99 in-store only. Limit supply. Learn more at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Woodhouse has been delivering you confidence in car buying since 1975. And now we're giving you the convenience of doing it 100% online with Buy Now. Anytime, from anywhere, you can compare hundreds of hand-picked, safety-inspected, pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs that are available to purchase completely online. Shop smarter with personalized, estimated payments on all the inventory. Apply for financing and schedule your driveway delivery all online. Woodhouse, delivering a better way to car buy online with Buy Now.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy, from repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks, foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by
Akrs.
The Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs solutions
Nailed
for
it.
every field.
It's my favorite.
Nailed it.
Just having We're having too much fun around here. Greg, Jessica, Jeremiah, all three of us for the price of one, price of none, actually, for tonight here on the program. We were talking about the blocking and the getting the run game going. The other part of this is tight ends. And, Jess, you talked to Thomas Fedoni a couple weeks ago. He talked about that's something he knows he's got to get better at.
Yeah, we brought that up a lot on the podcast. And it's hard to think about and remember that was really his first year playing college football for as long as he's been around. And so the adjustment process of it and understanding how to block, it's so different. And he brought that up repeatedly. I was going to ask him about it, but he repeatedly brought that up unsolicited, knowing that was an area of his game he had to improve going into this year.
Yeah, and I mean, coming off a couple big-time knee injuries, you trying to get out there and you just want to trust your body of like, can I do this? Am I okay with this? How does everything feel? Let alone you have a guy across me wanting to just drive by you back. And I can remember the first Minnesota game. I think it was we were coming out, and he just got rolled back and put on his butt. And I was like, that's just being a young player. And I have to remind myself that even though he may be a junior, it was really like a freshman.
Yeah.
Like he was really out there for the first time. And so I expect him to make a big jump. But then you have Borkacher, too, who's going to come in there, and then Lindermeyer. Like those three, to play in the Big Ten, you're going to want to get in 13 personnel late in November, right? 1 back, 3 tight ends to be able to really jam it up there. You're getting 4-minute offense at the end of the game, and you want to have guys you trust in there to do the jobs and be able to block. And all three of those guys are going to be called on in a big way this fall to contribute not just in the pass game, but big time in the run game.
It's almost this tight end group. They got a little bit of everything. They've got a lot of different types of tight ends that they can work in and piece together around and maybe throw some wrinkles at some people. You agree?
Yeah, I think that we want to be in 11 personnel mostly. Right? I think we want to live in 11 just based off of what I saw last year. That may change. We might want to go more 12. But, Fedoni needs to turn himself into a tight end that never comes off the field. Right? I see him as like, hey, be like a Kyle Rudolph. Right? A guy that can block, that can run, be a threat, big body, go box out a safety and catch the hard contested thing. I think that this tight end room I'd love to get 2 Fedonis, right? 2 guys that can do all that. But, yeah, they each are very good at certain things, but we need them all to elevate to be very good at multiple things.
For a true freshman like Carter Nelson, how big of an adjustment is that for a true freshman to play tight end and the expectations that come along with him?
I think it's the same thing as O-line.
Yeah.
Right? I think besides quarterback, tight end is the hardest position as far as the mental side.
Yeah.
Because you not only have to be locked in on all the run games, you got to understand the pass concepts and zone coverage versus man coverage and shell coverage versus this and slide adjustments. And also, okay, hey, we're in the run game, new mic points. Like the tight end position from the mental side is extremely tough.
You can become predictable if you've got tight ends who can't do everything, right? I mean, if Fedoni can only catch and he's on the field, the defense is going, they're not running. They're going to try to throw the football here.
Yeah, you don't want to become one-dimensional. Yes, 100%. Yeah. Tendencies. Yeah. And that goes back to Matt Rhule's comments about the extra rest time, right? Like when you have extra rest time preparing for this Nebraska team, if we have, certain packages where Fedoni's in, it's a 75% pass rate, that's the kind of stuff that an extra couple days of rest and a couple days of preparation can give you an advantage when you're playing a team like that.
Hey, absolutely. Greg, by the way, breaking news. The Division I Council has expected passed legislation to permit football support staff members to provide tactical coaching and practicing during games. We talked about that last night. Yeah. It's official. Ross Stellinger had that news just now 2 minutes ago.
Fantastic. That'll make a lot of coaches, and particularly Matt Rhule, very, very happy. Speaking of tight ends, congrats to Jack Stoll getting married this weekend. Best man, Cam Jurgens. They're going to have a good time at that little party out there. Woodhouse Auto Family, they are your trusted name for being an auto partner. 20 brands, 20 convenient service locations. Go make car buying in your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. Wow, what an hour. One more to go. Come on back.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Farming today is a combination of hard work, innovation, and partnerships to help keep us moving forward. Sap Brothers Petroleum has provided us with fuel, propane, and lubricants on the farm for many years.
For over 52 years, Sap Brothers has been a reliable partner to thousands of farmers across our great state. We work hard to make sure our customers have the most reliable supply, provided in the safest manner and at the most competitive price. Trust Sap Brothers Petroleum to protect your equipment and keep your farm fueled. Sap Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics and to serve Nebraska farmers and Husker fans across America's heartland.
Husker fans, springtime in Sharpe County means sports and outdoor activities. Catch an Omaha Storm Chasers baseball game or a Union Omaha Pro soccer match at Werner Park. Visit Fontenelle Forest, where you can enjoy tree rush adventures or hike and bike on one of the many trails. Play a round of golf or experience great fishing. Relax, refresh, and rediscover yourself with a springtime trip. Plan your adventure at GoSarpy.com.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails. Dress up for a night out on the town or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the trail-taming 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln. Good evening. I'm Camden Cohn, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. Earlier today, the Big Ten Conference announced that 126 Husker athletes earned the Big Ten Distinguished Scholar Award. The honor highlights student athletes who recorded a minimum GPA of 3.7 or higher for the previous academic year. The honorees came from all 24 of Nebraska's athletic programs, including double-figure totals in women's track and field, men's track and field, soccer, and softball. For more information, visit Huskers.com. Husker volleyball players Andy Jackson and Bergen Riley had their first game with the Team USA U21 team earlier today in the Continental Championships. They swept the Dominican Republic by scores of 25-18, 25-21, and 25-11. Andy Jackson had 8 kills on 10 swings as well as 4 blocks, while Bergen Riley led the U.S. to a .333 hitting percentage and added 1 ace and 5 digs. Sticking with Husker volleyball, after more than 10,000 names were submitted to name Coach John Cook's new horse, coaches narrowed it down to 4 names. Those names are Cash, Rev, Rip, and Ship. The final poll to select a name is open now for a week on the Husker volleyball social media accounts, and the winning name will be announced on the next episode of Kicking Back with the Cooks. Our sports ticker is sponsored by the 1890 Initiative. Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com. Hour 2 of Sports Nightly is up next, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Here come the Razorbacks, bumping over the left. Gillen, she's stopped. Rick Allen, block number 11 for the Team 16. They're body bumping in Lincoln.
Dillon turns, hands it off to Dowdell, left side, bounces to the outside, 40, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Dante Dowdell.
Shelley throws down low. Markowski kicks it out to Jazz, knocked away by Marshall. 7 to shoot, 6 to shoot. Shelley for 3. You betcha! Huskers take their first lead of the game with 30 seconds left.
Here's the 2-2 pitch.
Called strike 3. Breaking ball outside corner. Make it an even 10 for McConaughey, and the Hoosiers leave 2 more here in the top of the 7th.
Now the 3-2, and Brentwell swings and hammers it deep center field. She's gone! Home run, Eva Brentwell, and a 2-0 lead for the Cornhuskers.
Tominaga with 9, 8, 7, starts down the right side, goes to the right sideline, 4 seconds, step back, 30-footer. Got it! Unbelievable! I don't believe what I just saw. Tominaga knocks it home.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
And a +1, Jeremiah Sirles with us here tonight as we talked a bunch of Husker football. I think I know, guys, what the winning name's going to be for the horse.
What do you got? What are you putting your money on, Greg?
All right. John Cook, like I think a couple of us are, big fans of Yellowstone.
Mm-hmm.
Rip is one of the finalist names. Ooh. It's got to be Rip.
But he's not picking. It's a voting. It's open back up to voting for the Final 4. So it's,
dang, I didn't know that.
Yes. So the Final 4: Cash, Rev, Ship, Rip. I wouldn't be surprised if Ship wins.
Really?
I like Cash. Straight Cash, homie. Go to Randy Moss. Got to do it.
Jeremiah, you are a fan of Yellowstone, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Who do you want? I'll submit a vote right now for you guys. Who are we voting for?
Cash.
I'm going Rip.
Well, I only have one vote.
Well, Greg outranks me, so Rip.
Okay.
So Rip?
I'll go somewhere and vote. I can vote. Can I somewhere?
Okay, I'll vote for Jeremiah. He's going to vote Cash.
Cash
All
money.
Right. No Kevin Costner to finish out Yellowstone.
I know. I hate that. Like, what happened?
What is that?
I mean,
how do you do that?
He's the main character of that show. And it's not even like he gave him like, hey, I'm not going to be back. So it's not like they could like write him off at the end of last year. It's going to be one of those things where the first episode's like, oh my gosh, he died in a car crash and we never saw it. And then they just move on like nothing happened. And I hate that.
Oh,
I can't contribute nothing to this conversation.
You don't watch Yellowstone?
No, never seen an episode.
What's wrong with you? You don't like good cinema?
John Cook's a big fan, so yeah, that's coming in November. So
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
We have to culture you, Jessica.
We need to backtrack to Jessica's last comment in the last hour. And, you know, sometimes I think people feel like we just throw darts at a board, but there is a little bit of sense in what we do nightly. And so we tackled the topic last night about these analysts being able to coach. That's a big thing, Jessica, what you reported right before we went to the top of the hour break. That is huge.
Yeah, and I think we expected it to go through. It just had to be voted on to become official. And so, as we mentioned, I think we were all on the same sentiment last night. It never hurts to have more people coaching and developing those young players. And just for those rooms alone that we talked about last night, the defensive backs room where there's almost 30 guys, and the offensive line to have guys that can continue to develop. And especially those younger guys that might not be contributing right away, but you can really continue to develop. And this is a developmental program, and they've really expressed the importance of that. And so it was the right move. We kind of assumed it was coming. I think a lot of the coaches across the country assumed it was coming, but it's official and can now proceed as we thought they would.
Kind of makes me want to be a GA.
Really?
A little bit. I mean, it's like if I could come in and actually coach now, I think it will entice people to get into the coaching world.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I'm going to get to actually coach. Like, I'm going to get to actually put my hands on players and actually be in a meeting room and run my own meeting when I have all the young guys. Like, it's great for college coaching because we're seeing a max exodus of good college coaches that are old school that don't want to deal with the new school NIL.
I also thought you brought up a good point, too, about, okay, so you have these young guys, and Coach Rhule said that last night that we listened to the soundbite about promoting from within. And so if you have a group of young defensive backs, say, and I'm not by any means speculating, I think Evan Cooper's here for the long haul, but say Evan Cooper gets a defensive coordinator job, and then you bring up the guy that's been coaching those young guys. In the day and age of the transfer portal, maybe some guys stick around for that young guy that's been in the room with them, that's been coaching them, instead of maybe following Evan Cooper to the next spot.
Absolutely. I mean, that's a big piece of this. If you have a young GA that's in that DB room that grew up with this player, right? Say a freshman DB that was with a GA for 2 years, and then he's starter for 1 year, and then it's his senior year, and Coach Cooper, like you said, goes and gets a DC job or something like that. Like, trying to keep that guy is going to be a lot easier when I'm like, I trust this guy. I've been with this dude through trials in my whole career, and I want to keep here. I want to stay with him. I trust him versus like, hey, we're going to bring in someone brand new who you have no idea about. Please stay. Like, it's a totally different conversation.
And it's effective immediately. I don't know that coaches, I think Matt Rhule even said at his press conference, again, this was almost a week ago, that he didn't know if it would happen in the fall or during the offseason. This goes into effect right now, so they can start utilizing this once camp opens on July 31st. This is a big news, I think, for Nebraska.
It's huge news. I mean, it allows these guys to not be spread so thin, right? The head guys can focus on your starters now and know that you have quality guys that you can trust to help develop the young guys, post-practice, pre-practice, early meetings, right? You're not watching the scout team. You never watch the scout team film. Like, that's not something you do, but now you have someone that's like, hey, let's watch the scout team film and see if you're developing from a technical standpoint. And how are you doing against the ones or that type of thing, and coach them up.
And you think about some of those tweener positions, too, like the jack position or maybe a fullback, and now you can have some guys that specifically, because a lot of times maybe the fullback was in the running back room or maybe they're in the tight end room and they're going back and forth. But if you have someone that's specifically coaching a fullback or specifically coaching the jack position or something like that, you know, it also allows that they're not sitting in a room where they're not really defensive linemen, they're not really linebackers, but they can have their own specific room. Same thing with the fullbacks or positions like that. Even the specialists, right? You can have specific coaches that are designated to coaching that group.
Yeah, it's going to be phenomenal. It's great for the sport. It's great for the sport, and I mean, it's just football and basketball. Is that what it passed for right now, or is it across all the board? I mean, because I mean, you can now if you're talking about if that's across the board, I mean, you're talking about hundreds, if not thousands, of new coaches that are going to be able to start getting developed. It's great for athletics. So more coaches. I'm all about coaching. You got to be coachable. You got to trust your coaches. I mean, this is just great for the NCAA. Finally, good job, NCAA. I'll finally applaud you on something good that you did.
I think this just relates to football.
Yeah, it's just football.
Well, football is king, so starts there. It'll trickle down.
Yeah, a lot of times those sports follow the lead of what football does. So
yeah. One thing I wanted to talk to you about tonight, Jeremiah, and to be full transparent, you do represent Adrian Martinez.
Mm-hmm.
We do our weekend winners, and we named Adrian. Somebody named Adrian last week the weekend winner because he was named the MVP of the UFL. He had a really good season there. Talk about how he's doing. Did his success in the UFL spark any interest? I know he was in the Lions camp last summer. Is there still a flicker of hope that he could make it in the NFL?
Oh, absolutely. You know, going at the end of last year, the Steelers actually wanted to sign Adrian to what's called a futures contract, which is saying, hey, we want you on our team for OTAs and training camp and next year. And we went back and forth of, do we sign that deal or do you go to the UFL? And we literally go to the UFL, light it on fire, and win the MVP. And we ultimately decided tape is king, right? Tape is the best thing you can do. And looking back on it, I mean, after that, they went and traded for Justin Fields, Russell Wilson, that room became a mess. And so he absolutely did everything he needed to do. He played his best football. He showed that he's still growing. He's still learning as a player. And I mean, he got to accept an MVP trophy from Tom Brady. I mean, that was so cool. And so, yeah, the NFL is definitely in the mix for him now. I think right now it's a weird time. It's a downtime in summer. Everyone's taking vacations. But come the first week before training camp, first week of training camp, he's on a lot of teams' ready lists, if not just to work out and sign him right off the bat.
Didn't you say, too, you guys really went to work with the mechanics
Yes.
and addressing some of the things that if obviously he's an elite athlete, he can run it. But now he's added that element where his arm is more of a weapon for teams.
Yes, and you saw it so much. We got him with Tony Rasapoi, I believe is his name. He trained Kenny Pickett, right? So we got him involved with a true quarterback guru who just fixed his feet, fixed his timing, taught him about playing in rhythm and understanding how to get through your progressions quicker, and if the ball's not there, what to do with it. And, you know, you saw him grow. I mean, I can't remember how many times in Nebraska where I'd watch him roll out and be like, throw it away, throw it away, throw it away, and he'd just try and stuff one in there. And you saw him this time where it's like, hey, live to fight another down, throw it away, or understand when to take a shot or what the time and distance is. And he just grew so much as a player this year. It was really fun to see.
I think he also warmed the hearts of a lot of Husker fans just with his love of Nebraska, and that's the kind of transfer portal story you like.
Yes.
You know, where you leave, there's a lot of love still there between both parties. There's no love lost there.
No, he still loves Nebraska. I mean, we talked about it from the day I signed him. He's like, I love that place. They still love a huge part of my life. I think his fiance is from Omaha. Like, a ton of that goes into it, and the Husker Nation was super supportive. I only saw a few that were like, well, why couldn't you do that in Huskerville? I was like, dude, this dude's a whole different player, right? And he went to Kansas State and got hurt. I mean, he's been through so much, and just to see the success he had and to give a chance to get back in the NFL, couldn't be happier for the kid.
Well, good for him, and he's got an army of people pulling for him. And, you know, if he doesn't start in a camp, Jeremiah, as you know in the NFL, an injury could happen. Somebody could get hurt in preseason. They need an extra body to help come take snaps. I can't imagine he would be too far down most teams' list to call and bring him into camp.
Absolutely. I mean, you start thinking about the skill set that he can bring where, say you're the Browns and you're in the AFC North and you got to play Lamar Jackson twice a year. Right, who better than to have Adrian Martinez come be your practice squad quarterback
Absolutely.
And run around? And I mean, Deshaun Watson, I mean, all those things play a factor when you're talking about practice squad quarterbacks. So much about it is who I play, who am I playing against, and how does this guy help give me a good look? And then from there, you develop within the program, and then you try and make that attempt to be the backup or potentially challenge for a starter job someday.
It's got to be enticing, too, just seeing some of these mobile quarterbacks that is now something that a lot of teams probably would like to have, too.
Yeah, the NFL wants quarterbacks that can move and escape. I don't care how good your offensive line is. These dudes, if Myles Garrett's on the other side, you're going to have to escape at one point or another.
Jessica, just think about how many heartbreaking losses you had to talk to him after, and he was there, and he did it, and he stood up in front of everybody, and I mean, that shows a lot of character for a guy, because that 21 season was heartbreak city after heartbreak city, and that kid persevered that whole year. And
he laid it out there. You never doubted that he was doing everything possible, and then come to find out all the injuries that he was dealing with throughout the entire season, and nobody knew, but he was doing everything he possibly could to try to will this team to wins.
I mean, I can remember I called that Michigan State game. I was the sideline guy when he broke his jaw. Like, I remember him coming off the sideline, and I was kind of peering over there, and he was just holding his face. And I was like, oh, my gosh, did this dude break his face? And sure enough, he did.
You said he's done.
I was like, I think he's done. And then, I mean, what he battled through, I mean, and all that, and then with the storm that was Scott Frost and everything going on here, like, he had every reason to phone it in and quit, and he just always answered the bell. Part of the reason I wanted to sign him was, like, I know this kid's tough as nails, like, high-character kid. Like, if he can get some stuff together, he'll give himself a chance.
How did he physically come out of the UFL season?
Good. Super. He was
Good.
healthy. He didn't have any injuries, which was big.
Good.
I mean, because that's the hard part is they just finished the season, and then NFL training camp's starting right now. I mean, so many of those guys have a lot of tread that wore off on them, but now they're going right into training camp. So it'll be a war of attrition to get your body going.
Yeah. Well, speaking of injuries, Ramir Johnson has had to deal with a lot of injuries. We're going to hear from him coming up in the next segment. A running back that has flashed some things, had a great kickoff return in that Minnesota Golden Gopher game last year to start the season and then got hurt and wasn't available for the back half of the year. We're going to hear from Rahmir coming up here in a little bit. Sharpe County, where great food, drink, shopping, concerts, and fun await you. Stay, play, and plan your getaway at GoSarpy.com. More of the show coming up.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails. Dress up for a night out on the town, or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved-up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the Trail-Tamin 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Husker fans, springtime in Sharpe County means sports and outdoor activities. Catch an Omaha Storm Chasers baseball game or a Union Omaha Pro soccer match at Werner Park. Visit Fontenelle Forest, where you can enjoy tree rush adventures or hike and bike on one of the many trails. Play a round of golf or experience great fishing. Relax, refresh, and rediscover yourself with a springtime trip. Plan your adventure at GoSarpy.com.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy, from repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks, foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
For farmers, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. And at Valley, we feel the same, delivering game-changing technology and irrigation solutions that advance agricultural productivity, with the results to prove it. From our leading irrigation technology to expert advice, you can always rely on Valley to bring out the best in your farm. At Valley, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. Throughout my football career, chiropractic care helped my athletic performance on the field and kept me in the game. Today, regular chiropractic care keeps me healthy and active to do the things I love. Chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages. Make chiropractic your first choice to reduce pain, improve your mobility, and feel better naturally. It works for me, and it can work for you too. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
Dear roads, trails, and rivers, you ready for some SUV action? Toyota SUVs can roll their sleeves up for tight turns and twisty trails. Dress up for a night out on the town, or head to the great outdoors. Take your family adventure game to a whole new level with the roomy Highlander. Make a serious splash with the rugged, revved-up RAV4. And tow all your toys in the spacious new Sequoia. Don't forget the Trail-Tamin 4Runner and the sleek Venza Hybrid. All Toyota SUVs feature a whole suite of creature comforts to keep you and yours cozy in the cabin. Check out this legendary lineup at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
Welcome back, Sports Nightly, here on a Tuesday night. Greg, Jessica, Jeremiah, all with you here tonight on the program. And Jeremiah, you ready for this?
Yes.
Ready?
Yes.
All right. The Huskers Radio Network broadcast, I didn't prompt you during the breaks, is sponsored by
Akrs,
the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more.
Akrs.
Solutions for every field. Jim in Columbus, Jeremiah, wants to know what's harder to come off of. You play in all kinds of weather, playing in college or pro. Which one's harder to bounce off of?
The extreme heat is definitely harder to recover from, just because it wears you out so much. I mean, the wind and the cold is one thing in the moment, but I feel like you get inside, you get warm back up, you're like, okay, I'm good. But when you play in those extreme weather heats, I mean, it drains you for 24 hours. I mean, and just what it takes to get rehydrated. I mean, when you're losing 11, 12 pounds in the game, I mean, just what it takes from a hydration standpoint to get that fluid back, to get the sodium content back, and to feel normal again is way harder to come off of than a cold game.
Okay, Jim, thanks for the question. Ramir Johnson, a guy that I've really been a big fan of since he stepped on campus. I just feel terrible for him because he's had to battle a bunch of injuries. Earlier this week, just got a chance to catch up with Rahmir.
Well, Greg, you're with one of our faves, Ramir Johnson. How does it feel to be going back through this again?
It felt good. You know, it's been, I guess, a familiar feeling. You know, I've been doing this for a long time now, so I'm kind of used to it, I would say.
Okay, coming off the injury, how do you feel health-wise, where your body's at right now?
I felt damn near close to 100%, I would say. Just ready to get back out there and, you know, do what I do.
I've heard a lot about your approach to the weight room. What was that approach for you? What did you want to accomplish going back into the weight room coming off that injury?
I just, in my mindset, I just didn't want to get left behind, I guess, and had a lot of catching up to do in my terms. So for me, I just wanted to attack the weight room as soon as possible, and I was able to do that with this strength staff. So shout out to them.
Did you have any specific goals, or were you just going in and attacking it?
Nah, I just wanted to keep my my strength, and as much as I can. Even though I only had like one arm and two legs and stuff like that, but I just wanted to keep my strength, make sure I'm still in the mix and still like somewhat in shape.
Coach Rhule told the story last year about you calling him, hey, I want to come back. I want to be a part of this again. Take us through that decision, why you wanted to be here and go through this thing again with Nebraska football.
Yeah, I think it was after the Illinois game, going to the bye week. I don't know, I just felt like for me, I just have some unfinished business to do. And just for me, I'm just playing catch up. I have, you know, missed, you know, the past 2 seasons, one with an injury and then, you know, one with, you know, whatever it was. And I just want to come back and give it, you know, my all and, you know, showcase that, you know, what I can really do and, you know, end this year with a bang.
You were such a big part of the, you know, return game, the offense, and then you go down with the injury, but you stayed positive throughout. What kept you positive despite, I know you had to be disappointed that your season was cut short. Yeah, for sure. Definitely my family, of course, but I think my teammates, everybody, everybody came out to me and was telling me, like, don't worry, man, you're going to be good. And if you come back next year, man, we definitely use you. And everything ended up going in the way as I saw planned, and now I'm here. You know, you talked about the unfinished business, but, you know, you could have entered the transfer portal or gone somebody else. So what was it about what this coaching staff was doing, what Coach Rhule was doing and leading this program that you wanted to come back and be a part of Nebraska football? Yeah, I think they have a really good system going on over here, a really good culture they're trying to build, and I just grew, you know, a fan of it. And honestly, for me, I just felt like I wanted to get it done in Nebraska. I didn't want to be nowhere else. I think it'd be a lot more special when you get it done here and everything goes great. And it's like, oh, well, you stayed here and now you reap the benefits. So, for the special teams part of it too, how much are you looking forward to getting back and being a part of that? I know that this team really missed you once you went down, but how excited are you to be a part of that again? Yeah, I'm really excited. I want to get back out there and kick return, and I'm not shying away from it, even though I got hurt during the kick return. And I'm gonna be out there and gunner, and then whatever else Coach Foley need me to do, I'll be ready. So I'm looking forward to special teams this year. I've told this story a lot since last year, but when you went down and you came back, you were immediately coaching guys up. That's not always the case when guys get hurt and potentially season-ending injury. Why was that important to you to come right back out and be there for your teammates and continue to coach them up? I mean, the season kept going on, so it's like if I'm not going to be out there, might as well give, you know, the next guys who are stepping up the gems that they need to be ready for, you know, the Big Ten and just ready for the season as well. Did you find a love for coaching maybe throughout that process?
Nah, I just felt like I just needed to give some gems because I've been here a long time and I've seen a lot, so I just wanted to share my experiences and my thoughts.
So Emmett Johnson gave a lot of kudos to you throughout last season, and you sharing your expertise. What can you say about him and the role that he took on and how he stepped in to fill the void when you guys went down?
He did a great job. Everything, even before we got injured, I was telling him, like, look, just wait your time. You never know what can happen, and just stay the course. He kind of reminded me of myself in my younger days here, so I kind of saw the vision, and, through unfortunate reasons, he made a name for himself, and I'm looking forward to competing with him and as well as playing with him, and I think it's going to be a good season for the running back room.
Yeah, it took a lot of you guys last year, and even before guys went down, a lot of you guys are going to play. How excited are you about this group and the potential and what you guys can provide this offense?
Now, we got a great room, and everybody going to see once the season starts, but we got a great room. I love everybody in our room, and we just look forward to show the world what we can do in that room.
How much do you guys just embrace, okay, we all have different strengths, we all can provide different things, but just knowing that everybody's going to be needed, how do you guys approach that?
We always together. We always talk about, like, just, what we can do, what we're sharing, like, clips of, like, other sports. Just football plays and just seeing how we can do that ourselves and just kind of, like, honing into our individual skills. And I felt like we all kind of just, like, feed off each other with that. And I think we just got a tight room. Everybody just, like, I love everybody in our room, and I think we all love each other, so.
This offense faced so much adversity last year, but you guys continue to fight and battle. How much do you feel like you guys can build off of what was done last year and continue to get better this year?
Yeah, we got a lot of good guys in every room, running back room, receiver room, QB room, O-line. Like I said, I think this is going to be a special year. I really do feel it in my core, in my soul, in my stomach. I think this is going to be a great season. I just can't wait to, like, put it out there for the fans and everybody else that's ready to watch us.
This time last year was so important to the chemistry, the brotherhood that was built that, you guys talked about all last season. How have you guys tried to replicate that this summer so that you continue to build off of that?
I think just being around each other. We always around each other 24/7. I think some of us is here to, some of us start our day 8 in the morning. We here to 6 o'clock in the afternoon. So I guess just being around each other and always just preaching the culture and just building the culture with each other. I think that plays a good role in just building that family for the team.
What has it meant to you to see that what Coach Rhule just spoke so highly about your leadership and just how you've helped build that culture, and what does that mean to you that he's recognized that and that you have become so important to him and this program?
Yeah, I definitely do appreciate that because I'm not the big rah-rah guy, but he sees how I put my efforts in and how I show my leadership skills, and if he can see that, I just admire him for that, and I love Coach Rhule. I ain't gonna lie, he's a good guy. He's a good guy.
You and so many guys that have been around, played a lot of football, have had a taste of, how close you can be. How important is the leadership for you guys to take over this thing and be really player-led going into the season?
It starts with the older guys. We got to lead the way for the younger guys, and I think once we establish that culture from an older standpoint, the other guys are just going to come in because they already look up to us already. So it's just going to be once we set the standard, then the standards get passed down, and it's a whole system from there on for years to come.
How much weight did you put on?
From last season, I'd say about 10 pounds, honestly, and 16 pounds of muscle based off my DEXA, so 60 pounds of muscle.
But didn't lose the speed, right?
Of course, I got even faster.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So for you personally, what are your goals going into these next few weeks before you guys hit the field for fall camp? Being that they were cautious with you and you didn't go through spring ball, what are you trying to do to make sure you're ready to go come fall camp?
Yeah, just staying healthy, take care of my body, being a pro in that aspect, and then getting into the playbook and just knowing everything on and off the field, I'll say.
And we were joking a few months ago, you guys are maybe going to start a podcast, you and Emmett, yeah. Johnson & Johnson.
Yeah, we're still looking into that. It was supposed to be a summertime release, but we got to figure out some time. We are very busy, I'll say. But once we figure that out, Johnson's definitely coming. So.
Okay, well, then you can send it back to Greg. You want to say back to you, Greg, in the studio?
So, yeah, back to you, Greg, in the studio. And Johnson coming soon, so I'll be on the lookout for that.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Jessica.
Well done. Little promo action right there. I think those two would be fun. That would be a fun little podcast to be a part of.
They're great. It's cool.
Love that kid.
I know. It's cool to see their bond, and just the way that Rahmir really took Emmett under his wing and helped him along last year. They're really tight, and two of the favorites. I know Jeremiah is pushing to change this 20 jersey in here in the studio to 21 for Emmett.
I am. And we need an Emmett Johnson jersey in here. I think he's going to be special.
Yeah.
I mean, just seeing what he was able to do last year, seeing him a little bit in the spring, I'm very excited for the future of the backfield with him at the helm.
Matt Rhule has not been shy about saying how much he likes that room, and I think there's some diversity in that room. Dowdell can be a hammer, the Oregon transfer. The Johnsons have that little giddy up that can get him to the outside. Ramir's so good at pass pro and some of those other things. I may not be as big a fan as Matt Rhule, but I'm not going to argue with the coach, Jeremiah. If he likes a room, I'm on board.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you talk about, you have depth in that room. I think the biggest key to that room is staying healthy, right? If you want that, that in the running back room is always notoriously going to get hurt. It's a brutal position to play. When you want to be a run-first football team, there's a lot of carries. That's why it's good to be able to spread it around so you don't wear any one guy down too much over the course of the year. But I agree, if that room can stay healthy, it's going to help us a ton.
Greg, Camden and I were walking by the guys, and they were doing their photo shoots the other day. We walked by Dowdell. That is a big guy. He's a big running back.
It's like a linebacker.
Yeah, he's a big size. So when you have some of the, smaller type physiques of the running backs with Emmett and Rahmir, you do have a couple of big guys in there too.
Oh, you got to have a hammer. You got to have a dude that's like, hey, you put your head down. That way, 2 yards. Yes, sir. Right, you got to have those dudes that are not looking, and they know they're not the home run threat, but they know that, hey, you're going to meet me in the A-gap. I'm going to fall forward for 2 or 3 yards, and he absolutely looks the part for that.
How much did you see Emmett grow from just the time where, hey, it's your turn, to the end of the season?
So much. I mean, ball security is first and foremost got to be his number one priority, which as a freshman, you're not used to it, right? In high school, they're not as skilled of ripping at the ball as they're tackling you and that type of thing. So ball security, but you just got to see him get more in groove, more in rhythm with the offensive line. Like, he took huge strides. I'm excited to see what year 2 brings for him.
Matt Rhule said the other day, if teams are going to line up in that 2 high safety, he goes, we're going to come at you. We're going to run the football at you. If you try to just go 1 high, then we're going to murder you with the passing game. It gets back to that 4-minute offense. So many games in the Big Ten are decided in the last 4 or 5 minutes. You better be able to run the ball. And a Dowdell could be exactly what this program needs late in games.
Yeah, you want to always finish. I mean, if you've got a lead, there's nothing better than getting those 1 or 2 first downs at the end of the game that are just bleeding that clock and then finishing in the best formation in football, victory, right? And you can't do that unless you have a guy that can ground and pound it out. And, we had Gabe Irvin, and he got hurt, and we've been missing that big back, power, heavy style back, and he definitely brings that to the table.
Gabe's healthy, according to the coach. He talked about him the other day, said he's full go along with Turner Corcoran and some of those other guys. So that's good news. Good to hear from Rahmir. Woodhouse Auto Family, they are your trusted auto partner. 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. All right, back with more of the show coming up.
When you switch and save with Progressive, you could use that money towards going to see your favorite team in the playoffs. Progressive cannot guarantee that you can go see your favorite team in the playoffs. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds on average, but we cannot guarantee that your favorite team will make the playoffs or even finish with a winning record. They could easily lose more than half their games and finish in the cellar because they stink badly and haven't made the playoffs in years. Savings? Very possible. Playoffs? Highly doubtful. Switch and see if you could save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance and Affiliates, not available in all states. We cannot be held liable for your favorite team's terrible and frankly embarrassing performances now or ever.
Shop smarter online for your next vehicle with Buy Now from Woodhouse. Car buying 100% online from your local trusted auto partner. Easily compare hundreds of hand-picked, safety-inspected cars, trucks, and SUVs features, capabilities, and payments. Conveniently apply for financing and complete your paperwork for purchase 100% online, anytime from anywhere. Plus, we'll deliver it to your driveway. Woodhouse, delivering a better way to car buy online with Buy Now.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here. I feel better already.
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
If there's one thing we like, it's choices. Find yours with Ford F-150. Gas, hybrid, or all electric. Whether it's towing, powering up, or getting from 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, what you choose to do with that much power is up to you. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Get 1.9% financing for 72 months plus $1,000 bonus cash on a brand new 2023 F-150 only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. Throughout my football career, chiropractic care helped my athletic performance on the field and kept me in the game. Today, regular chiropractic care keeps me healthy and active to do the things I love. Chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages. Make chiropractic your first choice to reduce pain, improve your mobility, and feel better naturally. It works for me, and it can work for you too. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
Husker fans, springtime in Sharpe County means sports and outdoor activities. Catch an Omaha Storm Chasers baseball game or a Union Omaha Pro soccer match at Werner Park. Visit Fontenelle Forest, where you can enjoy tree rush adventures or hike and bike on one of the many trails. Play a round of golf or experience great fishing. Relax, refresh, and rediscover yourself with a springtime trip. Plan your adventure at GoSharpe.com.
Elevate your drive with Woodhouse Buick. Plus, with our current offers going on now, you'll save even more. Lease a 2024 Buick Enclave Essence for $495 a month for 36 months, 10,000 miles per year. With approved credit. Must finance with GM Financial. Must currently own or lease a 2019 or newer Buick or GMC vehicle to qualify. First payment and $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires July 1st, 2024. See dealer for details.
Get ready to rule the field and revolutionize your farming game with Valley, the game changer in irrigation and ag tech solutions. With time and labor-saving measures, ground truthing results, and effective input reduction, Valley provides the perfect game plan so you stay ahead of what's in the field. From the best in irrigation and cutting-edge ag tech solutions to personalized support, Valley is your winning team. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Hey, Husker fans, check out the all-new Hy-Vee Perks program. Sign up for totally free Hy-Vee Perks program and enjoy exclusive perks, pricing on hundreds of items in-store and online. Score big savings today at Hy-Vee.com/perks. Hy-Vee is an official grocer partner of Husker Athletics and your one-stop shop for making your life easier, healthier, and happier. Visit your local Hy-Vee today. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody, Jeremiah Sirles with you. Jeremiah, what are summers like in Lincoln as a student athlete? Jessica and I like summers because there's more places to park. What was it like as a student athlete? Is it more of a relaxed atmosphere around because you're not maybe cranking away as much with classwork?
Yeah, I mean, I loved it because it was really just the athletes that were on campus, and so you all just kind of hung out together, right? It was really all the fall athletes. I mean, so it was soccer, it was volleyball, it was football. You know, you all just kind of hung out together, and you'd see each other and out and about. You'd see each other. The bars are a lot less crowded. You know, you're just kind of, it's just a very relaxed atmosphere, and you know, you kind of can let your hair down a little bit and not worry about how many eyes are on me or who's around right now that's watching what I'm doing or I'm out to eat or anything like that. You know, so it's just it's a lot of fun. I loved the summertime because you just work out. I mean, these kids nowadays don't even have to take classes because of NIL. But I mean, I had to take classes so I could get my $500 stipend check so I could eat on the weekends. But you know, it was always good too. I love taking summer school because I got my hardest classes out of the way, right? They're the 6-week grinder out classes, and so I always love doing summer school as well.
Greg, listen, the parking is still limited over here because now that they're in the new facility,
they're taking them up.
A lot of the coaches and staff are parking on this side now.
Oh boy.
Yeah. I interviewed Coach Dvorak the other day. I was like, so you guys are the ones that are stealing all of our parking spaces over here.
Well, they're going to have to change it, right? They're going to have to change all those C-lot passes from over in the front of the memorial to this now?
I guess.
Is that what it's going to be?
Change it up. Or I'm going to have to just start parking in the garage
Parking in the garage and hoofing it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Why can't they park where they were? Come on.
We don't want to walk, Greg. Why build this beautiful facility to make us walk our big butts in through the back door?
Doesn't seem right.
We'll paint you out one. We'll paint you out a special GS, Greg Sharpe, and then no one can park there. Not you,
We
Jessica.
should
You
have
gotta earn that.
some a little bit of hierarchy here. We've been over here for a couple of years. That should have been worth something, right?
You would think,
guess
but I
not.
mean, they took a lot of the parking spots away already when they redid the horseshoe. I mean, there was way more over here originally when I was in school.
Yeah.
Back in my day. No, I'm never going to be that guy.
You will be. Trust me. It's going to happen at some point, though. You know, I spent a couple summers while I was in school on campus, and I loved it. I just loved the relaxed feel. There wasn't as now. I was excited when the hustle and bustle came back, but I just really enjoyed it. So I kind of wondered, from your perspective, and that you did not surprise me with your answer, that it just is a kind of. And Jessica, I think you've talked to a lot of athletes in the last couple of weeks. You can tell they're more relaxed right now too.
Yeah, they are, and I think kind of what Sirles said too. Just it's really close knit with all the athletes here. I think more so than what I've seen in the past, and a lot of that comes from the training table. But it just there's a lot of good friends from other sports, and they're supportive of each other. And so I just think that you see a lot of them hanging around and walking around together. And so it's Greg. It is weird though walking through the old training table and athletic or academics and life skills. It's like a ghost town over there because they're all in the new facility. But it's like that used to be the hubbub of where you would. It was always hustle and bustle. You'd always see guys meeting with Dennis LeBlanc and Keith Zimmer and their crew, or headed to the training table, and there's nothing over there right now because they're all over here.
What's that going to turn into? What are they doing with that space over there? Do we know?
I think they're still trying to figure that out. So.
And we recently had a change in leadership at the athletic department, so that may change.
Yes, everything is up for debate.
No, I mean, and I'm not trying to slight, but when you change ADs, you change visions, and Troy's got to get his vision and handle on what he wants to do and kind of how he imagines things. And Jessica's talked to Haven, who's kind of his number 2 guy. They're all trying to figure that out, and they may have a different vision for all of this than what the previous administration did, and that's fine. And you have some time, but now you do have some extra space in the stadium to do some other things, and maybe you can really turn it into a cool. I want at some point in time some kind of an athletics hall of fame, somewhere where people can come into the building and look at trophies or uniforms or just some of the great things that have happened in this athletic department over the last 100+ years.
Yeah, make it like a Huskers museum, right? Like a museum. Right. I mean, the Vikings did that at their new facility. They have a Vikings museum where it's like you said, it's a walk through the history of what this place was and what it was about. And I mean, I think the old weight room would be a perfect spot for that, right? With the windows there. Like, I think that would be a really cool thing to have. And you could sell tickets, so it'd be a revenue generator.
Sure.
Which
you
is
could come in that north entrance.
Front room here is going to be that for football, but, there's a lot of history and tradition with some of the other sports, and getting it all located into one spot, like all the volleyball stuff. And
I mean, you guys see it in the summertime too. Those big school groups that come through here.
Yeah.
Right. Like
every third grader in the country comes here.
Right. I mean, it's everywhere. It was funny when we played here. We'd always walk by and be like, I'd be like, don't feed the animals, don't touch the animals. Right. But like, I mean, you just build some stuff for them, right? I mean, because that's what builds Husker fandom. You start them young, right? You get them drinking the Kool-Aid before they even know it's the real Kool-Aid, and the next thing you know, they're living and breathing it.
I think this is an important couple of weeks for the coaches because this is the kind of the one time they can unplug a little bit. And I think that's important. And I know Coach Rhule values that too. He knows how hard he pushes his staff, but you got to get your mind right. You got to get your mind clear. I think the next 3 to 4 weeks are really big to get your kind of self set and ready for a really long haul that starts with camp opening on the 31st.
Yeah, I mean, this is the definition of the calm before the storm. Right? I mean, this is everyone takes a big, deep breath. You go see your family, give them all hugs, and be like, listen, when August 1st hits, I will call you. Don't call me. Don't text me. And if you do, don't be offended when I don't call you back. Like, you just kind of have to set boundaries because of the grind that it is from not just a coach's perspective, but everyone that's involved in it. I mean, from the equipment staff to the trainers to everyone kind of takes this time as a big regroup refresh because – yeah, you're right. I mean, it's a sprint for 4 months, right? August, September, October, November, December. Like, you're just rolling through those 4 months, and you just kind of have to set precedences so people don't get upset or whatever it is. But you really do take this time. And, when I was in the NFL, July 4th was always kind of the, cutoff, all right, it's time to start locking in, right? Like, July 4th, after the 4th of July, you're like, all right, I'm starting to get that itch and that feel that football season it's right there. It's 3 weeks away. We're around the corner. And, that time of year always starts to bring that feeling up for me of, the anticipation and the intensity of everything really starts to ramp up.
And those poor coaches. I mean, you go from let's say the Iowa game, Black Friday, and then you hope you're getting bowl prep, but then you're right into the recruiting season. And they're talking about bumping that recruiting signing day up a couple of weeks and maybe making it around the 9th or 10th of December instead of the 21st or whatever it has been the last couple of years. And so they go from one right to the next. And so they don't get a break until after your bowl game or whenever that signing period ends. That's a long, stressful time, and football coaches are notorious for being here 18, 19 hours a day. I mean, it's just unbelievable how many hours those guys put in the office.
I feel like it's been a recruiting weekend every weekend since the season.
Yeah.
I mean, and I know there are some dead periods, but it really feels like, because Jeremiah, when we're here, they have the music blaring and they've got the TVs going and the big screens lit up. You can always tell when it's a recruiting weekend, especially a big recruiting weekend, but it seems like that was happening every single weekend from the end of the season till...
Well, I mean, because you add the portal into it, too.
Yeah,
so now you've got portal kids that are big recruiting weekends. And I think I saw something today that they're trying to close the portal down from 45 days to 30 days.
Yeah.
Right? Again, and that goes back to helping these coaches out. I mean, 45 days is a long time to be combing through portal kids and who do I want to get on a visit and who do I want to do this with. And yeah, I mean, it's being a football coach in college football is 50% football and 50% recruiting. I mean, it's very much split down the middle of where you want to be able to give your time, because you can't win games without recruiting well, and you can't recruit well without winning games. It's such a catch-22.
Coaches will tell you the portal has added a lot of workload to them, and and they know that's what it is. And I think it's why some coaches have kind of checked out. I think there's just like too much. Can't handle all that. Woodhouse Auto Family, they are your trusted auto partner. 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. Folks, we're nearing the end. We're back to wrap it up next.
A few drinks at home after work, a couple of hits at a party with some friends, over-the-counter drugs for a minor illness, a new daily prescription, and you're not quite sure how it makes you feel. It doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If it impairs you, driving becomes deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription, or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Discover the future of luxury with the Cadillac Lyriq at Woodhouse Cadillac. Experience the thrill of instant torque and seamless acceleration, all with zero emissions. Shop all our Lyriq inventory in-store or online today at Woodhouse Cadillac, where innovation meets elegance. Lease a 2024 Cadillac Lyriq Luxury One all-wheel drive for $469 a month for 24 months, 10,000 miles per year. With approved credit, $3,000 down payment plus first payment and $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires 7/1/2024. See dealer for complete details.
Our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, it is sponsored by
Akrs,
the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more.
Akrs.
Yep, solutions for every
That
field.
fires him up.
Gets me going.
It does.
Gets the people going.
Jess, we'll figure out one of these ads. You can do that too, so we can.
You guys can
include you.
handle it. You guys can handle it.
Shane wants to know, Jeremiah, what's your favorite ice cream flavor?
The Brownies and Clyde from 402 Creamery is undefeated. It's fudge with Reese's Puffs and the peanut butter ice cream. Anytime
Whoa.
they have it, anytime they have it, I will buy pints of it and store it in my freezer so I can have it throughout the year. It's
Lay that on me again.
So it's Brownies and Clyde. It's peanut butter ice cream with fudge pieces in it and Reese's peanut butter cups in it, and it is immaculate. And then they have like a peanut butter swirl on the top. Chef's kiss.
You a peanut butter guy?
Good. Love peanut butter. I could eat peanut butter every day of my life.
I would not be alive today without peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
No, I mean, I'm having Emma make a peanut butter and jelly protein ice cream in the creamy tonight because I saw it on Instagram and sent it to her. I was like, I want this.
That might be the greatest combination I've ever heard.
Yes, it's next time they have it, Greg. I'm telling you, it's a fan favorite. They've had it back twice now, and I always keep my eye out for it. I love that stuff. It's so good.
Jess, there's been a lot of support on Twitter, particularly from Deb and Grand Island for your snow cones tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's a big fan too.
I like snow cones this time of year.
It's tough. I mean, it's just sugar syrup and ice.
You know?
You guys, you know what we're only days away from?
What?
Lincoln turning into a war zone?
Oh, yeah. It's already started in my neighborhood.
Really?
A few M80s went off last night. Like, yeah, it's time. And
Will it be this weekend?
no, it'll be next weekend.
Mm.
It'll be next weekend.
It's
Sonny's
not legal
4th
until
of July. I don't know how she's going to handle it. She did not like the Chiefs celebration when the Super Bowl and people were setting off fireworks, I guess, in my apartment complex when the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, and she was not liking it. So I don't know if she's ready.
Get her some doggy downers, get her some Benadryl, and just drug her up for the night.
know.
So that's what I have to do with what I had to do with my dogs growing up.
I don't think it's legal till the 3rd, but people ignore it.
Yeah, they don't care. I don't know. Ever since I became a parent, I don't like fireworks.
Really?
Like when I was a young one, I'd be the guy holding the M80 shell.
Oh, yeah, I
launching
could
it
see
up.
that.
Like, yeah, but now that I have a parent, I'm like, be careful. Like, don't be too close. Like, I don't know. Just something in me. I don't know. And ever since I had to play against Jason Pierre-Paul when he blew his hand off, I was like, I don't want to be a part of that anymore.
I'm not.
You've grown out of it.
I have. I've matured in my maturity. I'm over halfway at the lifespan point. You know, I'm just a nice, mature adult now.
I've never been a huge fireworks person.
No?
Ever.
I don't know.
But nobody, I'm telling you, this place is bonkers.
Oh, they love it.
Isn't it crazy?
They
It's
love
unbelievable.
I've never heard anything like
I
it.
never knew about the sticks of dynamite until I moved out here. Like people love just lighting like a quarter stick of dynamite and throwing it in the middle of the yard and just boom, setting off car alarms. I'm like, I don't understand that.
I also don't understand setting off fireworks in the day.
Oh, I mean, I don't.
But I know it happens. It's like all day. It's like sun up to sundown.
Yeah, 4th of July is just a nonstop boom fest. That was celebrate America. Light it on fire.
I had a neighbor who would drive to Missouri and load up. His whole garage would be full of fireworks. Crazy.
I mean,
he loved it.
So expensive too. Like, and you're literally lighting money on fire. Like, legitimately, it's like just like $20 bill, $5 bill, $10 bill. I don't buy fireworks anymore. I buy the sparklers for the kids. That's about it.
Jeremiah, this has been great. We're going to give you tomorrow off because we got some of the loaded things. Can you come back Thursday?
Absolutely. You know I'll be here with bells on.
Well, you don't have to wear bells.
Okay.
That's okay. Jess, we got a good show tomorrow night, right? We're going to hear from Chris Kaborik one last time. His term as interim president is up in a couple of days, but he's going to come back and join us for one more time. And we're hoping to talk to a softball pitcher that people might be familiar with, Jordy Ball.
Jordy Ball, hoping to sit down with her. Right now I'm scheduled to chat with her, so it'd be nice to check in with her and see how the rehab's going and all of that. But always love hearing from her.
No doubt. All right, all that tomorrow night. Thanks to Camden and Cole, all of you for listening. Be safe if you're shooting out fireworks. Have a great night.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hey Huskers, it's a new day in Nebraska. Manzer Equipment, Mertz Farm Equipment, and West Point Implement of Columbus have teamed up as True Ag and Turf. Coach Rhule is bringing innovation and high-performance standards to Husker football, and True Ag is doing the same to your farm with game-changing Fendt equipment. As Big Red establishes power on the field, True Ag and Turf does the same in the field by welcoming Fendt to Nebraska.
Hey, Mom. Yeah, I got in a crash. I'm okay. I was wearing my seatbelt.
people count on you to buckle up. Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Farming today is a combination of hard work, innovation, and partnerships to help keep us moving forward. Sap Brothers Petroleum has provided us with fuel, propane, and lubricants on the farm for many years.
For over 52 years, Sap Brothers has been a reliable partner to thousands of farmers across our great state. We work hard to make sure our customers have the most reliable supply, provided in the safest manner and at the most competitive price. Trust Sap Brothers Petroleum to protect your equipment and keep your farm fueled. Sap Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics and to serve Nebraska farmers and Husker fans across America's heartland.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks, foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
This is the Huskers Radio Network.